Hey guys, so today I'm coming to you with my updated eyebrow tutorial. Now the last eyebrow tutorial that I did on my channel was made like over a year ago, and literally my routine has changed so much during that time. So the way that you see me now is how my brows are naturally. I don't have any product on my brows at all. They're just really full and they grow in naturally to be about that thick, so I'm able to kind of let my brows go in and really manipulate the shape that I want. I don't get my eyebrows arched, I don't get them threaded or waxed. I do them myself, so I kind of have the shape that I want to have. And if you've noticed just watching me from week to week or day to day, my eyebrows do change shape a lot because I do my own brows and I'm able to just really manipulate the base shape before I add in any product. So today's tutorial will be a talk through eyebrow tutorial. This is probably one of my most highly requested videos, so I definitely want to bring it to you guys and just talk you through all the steps that I do. Now on a day that I don't wear makeup, this is how my brows will look. I just go out, I may brush them a little bit, but other than that, this is just how they look. On a day where I am doing more of a natural beat, maybe I just have on just lashes and some lip gloss, I use just concealer on my brows only. I don't fill them in at all. And then on days where I do like a full-on glam, going all out, is when I actually fill in my brows and add in product to make them look thicker or darken them up or make them just really match the rest of my face makeup. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and get into this tutorial. So like I said, this is how my brows would look if I was doing nothing minus the rest of my face makeup. This is how my brows would look. This is just how they are, and I'm so thankful to God that my brows just grow in really thick, because then I can go and kind of arch them how I want, shave them down how I want, pluck them how I want, whatever I'm feeling like. If I want more of a curved look, I can definitely go and take out some of that little top part right there. If I want more of an arched look, I can definitely go in and take some from up under here, but that would require me to use like tweezers and other tools and scissors and everything like that. And this tutorial is not for that. Unlike my last eyebrow tutorial, this is just showing you what I use to kind of just fill them in, I guess. So on a day that I'm wearing a little bit of lashes and a little bit of lip gloss, and I want to do a little bit of something to my eyebrows just to tame them a little bit, I first grab my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, and this is brush number 12. This brush I actually bought with my Dipbrow pomade, but I definitely use the brush way more than I use the pomade. I love this brush because it has a spoolie on one end and then the angled like applicator brush on the other end. So I start by just taking the spoolie end of this brush and brushing my hairs upward in the front, and then as I go down the tail, like the remaining tail of my brow, I kind of brush them back towards the direction of my ear. So up in the front, down in the tail of the brow. And this is just going to kind of just straighten and tame my brow hairs out before I add any product, just so I can see what kind of shape my brows have on their own before I add anything in. And just to let you guys know, I do usually do my brows before I do the rest of my face makeup, so this is totally backwards for me, but I really want to show you guys my brow routine without the rest of my face looking busted, so I'm gonna make it do what it do. Okay, so now that my brows are all brushed out, I know I really don't need any product on them. I really don't even want to put anything on them, but I'm going to go ahead and do so. So the product that I'm grabbing is my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and this is in the color 30, which is also called Cafe, and it comes in this little tube like this. If you watch any of my makeup tutorials, you know this is my holy grail brow concealer. I think it's the perfect shade. It's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, which makes it just the perfect highlight shade that's not too dramatic, because I definitely don't like a really dramatic highlight. I'm all for everything looking super natural. Not supernatural, but super natural. So I'm going to take this product, and when you pull it out, it's kind of like a lip gloss applicator, which I really like because it just makes it super easy to apply. So I'm going to just brush this on underneath my brow, kind of in my brow bone area. And then I'm just going to put a little bit under the front of my brow, just like that. Nothing major. And next I'm taking this flat eyeliner brush. Now this brush is a brush that came in a random kit that my aunt bought me from Costco's a few years ago. You can definitely find brushes like these online, on eBay, on Amazon, probably in any brush kit really. I used to use a different brush, and I literally just started using this brush at the end of last week because the brush that I always use is broken. But I do find that this flat concealer brush works really well because it's kind of wide, so that allows me to get more done with kind of like one little stroke. And it's like super flat, so I mean, that's great. The last brush I was using was curved, which calls for a lot of mistakes, and I have to do a lot of fixing, but I noticed with this brush it's a lot easier. So I'm just going to go in and run the concealer up against the edge of my brow. And so if you have not plucked your eyebrows in a way, you have some little hairs going in, this concealer will definitely cover that up and just really make your brows appear to be super, super clean. Unless someone's just like super close up on you and they're a hater and then they're just trying to point stuff out. So taking this brush with the extra product, I'm kind of just brushing this downward into my eyeshadow. Usually this eyeshadow wouldn't be here, so I wouldn't have to worry about it, but we definitely want to make sure that this blends with the eyeshadow. So you just want to go in and kind of just buff it in slowly. You can even go get like a blending brush and just go ahead and blend that in, but I'm not worried about that right now. And so I'm going to go on the top. Now, sometimes when I'm going to the top, I start at this end and go in. Sometimes I start at this end and go in. But I found that I get the best results when I start at this end. So I'm just going to basically do what I did on the bottom and just outline my brows. Now I'm not taking any more product. I'm using the remaining product that's already on the brush because it's not as much on there, so it won't be that much of a highlight, because I don't want my brows to look like they have like little glowing edges around them, you know what I'm saying? So just use the product that's already left on the brush. And now I'm coming to the front of my brow, but I'm not starting at the very edge of the front. I'm starting about maybe half of a centimeter back and then just working my way to the tail of my brow to shape it. That way my brows won't look so boxed in. Like if I start right here, you guys, it's gonna make my brows look super, super boxed in. So that's why I always start backwards a little bit, but you can definitely do what you think looks more appealing on your face. And so now taking this brush, I'm just brushing this upward and blending it in with my foundation. It'll also be good if you are doing this after you've done your full face of makeup to have your foundation in handy so that you can blend out any super brightness that your concealer like causes. And then I'm just going in and blending this downward. So taking my ring, my middle finger, and I'm not flicking you guys off. This is literally one of my best tools, fingers. I always say this. And I'm just going to take this and blend this in. Since your fingers are warm, it's going to help just really blend in that product even more. And there we go. So this is the left brow with the concealer on it, and then my right brow does not have any concealer on it. You can tell that this brow does appear to be a little bit more clean than this brow, but they still pretty much look similar. So after I have applied the concealer, I do want to go in and make this little quick tidbit, you guys. So if I was just doing this brow today, this more natural looking brow, I would go back in with this brow brush and I would go back in and kind of just brush my brows again, just to kind of finish them off and make them look gorgeous. So this pretty much just does it for me. So for my more beat looking brows, I will be using 3 different tools, and all of these are from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, I'm not really trying to just promote or showcase this brand in any way. This is just what I use and what I found has really worked well for me in the past. You can definitely use dupes for these items or other brands that are similar in nature. So my favorite item out of the 3 items I just showed you guys has definitely got to be my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I love it because it comes with a brush on one end and it has the pencil on the other end, the retractable pencil. This is in the color medium brown, I believe, and I think it's the perfect color for me. I don't like my brows to be super dark. I definitely like them more on the warm brown side than closer to my black hair, because I don't want them to just be jumping off of my face. If you like that, then definitely go for that, but that's not really me. So taking this brow wiz, I'm going to take the end with the spoolie brush on it, and I'm just going to brush out my brows one more time. I feel like brushing your brows out is definitely one of the most important steps while doing your brows, because it really lets you just get your shape kind of understood on the front end, and it also just tames your brow hairs. If you have any little tangles in there, or your brow hairs are like clumped up, this is definitely the way to go. So now, taking the retractable pencil end of my brow wiz, I'm going to start filling in any scaly areas in my brows, which is why you also want to brush out your brows, because you definitely want to see where the gaps and holes are in your brows and not be filling in where hair is actually kind of meant to go. So I'm not really having too many scaly areas. What I'm going to kind of do is just manipulate my shape just a little bit, because I don't have any really holes or scaly areas to fill in. So I'm just going to go up here and kind of make that look a little more angular to kind of look more like my other brow. But other than that, I really don't have to use this product today. This is a product that I definitely reach for if I accidentally take off too much hair on my brow. I definitely reach for this because the color is so perfect. It really allows you to build up the color gradually, and so you won't make as many mistakes when you're using this tool. There we go. So next, taking my Dipbrow pomade and also the number 12 brush that I mentioned earlier that came with it. My pomade is in the color chocolate. Now, I have had this forever, I think for almost a year now, and I really need to replace it because it's just kind of super dry. Even when I add liquid products to it, it's still kind of dry, and I'm not really feeling this color anymore. I'm really feeling the medium brown that I have in my brow wiz, so I definitely want to try the medium brown pomade to see if that's a little bit better, because this is super brown, and I do want kind of that ashy brown more so than the chocolatey brown, but I'm just going to use this because it's what I have for today. So taking a little bit of this product on the angle end of this number 12 brush, I'm just going to kind of outline the shape of my brows. This is really going to give my brows that just pop and that just beatness kind of look to match the rest of my face. And I'm going to do this on the bottom of my brow only. So just drawing a line with this along the bottom of my brow and kind of lengthening out the tail end of my brow so that it's super sharp. And it's really not that noticeable yet, but you guys are going to see what just adding that little bit has done for me. But you can definitely add as much or as little as you need depending on how full or scarce your brows are. So if your brows are even fuller than mine, you can really just skip this step, honestly. Or if your brows are not as full as mine, you definitely want to add a little bit more product on the bottom. Now I'm just stretching out the length of that tail. So now I'm just going to go up here where I just added that brow wiz to kind of define that shape. I want to define it just a little bit more because my other brow looks a lot more angular. And there we go. So now you can tell that they're a little darker, but not that much. You want to take the spoolie end of your number 12 brush and you just want to go to the bottom and kind of just work that up and just brush that product upward. That way that product will be dispersed throughout your brow without you having to necessarily go crazy on filling it in. I swear the most used tool in this video is my spoolie brush on both my number 12 and my brow wiz. And I'm just going back in and just fixing that tail a little bit. And I've noticed that this part of my brow seems to be a lot darker than this part. So that's when I'm going to take just a little bit of this pomade and kind of just fill this in. You can also use your brow wiz. I actually do recommend using the brow wiz if you don't have good control over like creamy products. The brow wiz will definitely be your best friend. If you like working more with gels and creams, then definitely go with the pomade. So you guys, those are my finished brows. I kind of prefer the brows that I had towards the beginning of the video. These brows are still amazing, but I definitely prefer more natural looking brows and more natural makeup. You guys know I'm the queen of making things look natural. So I definitely am leaning more towards the brows at the beginning, but these are just the brows that I would do if I want a super beat face. Now I didn't put much work into them. That's because my foundation and my base brow was just super good. If you guys want a detailed video on how I clean up my brows and how I kind of arch them and shape them up and tweeze them, definitely let me know down below and I will make that video for you all too. I'm just going to have to let my brows go in for a few weeks. It's going to break my heart, but anything for you all. And let me know down below, do you prefer my first untouched brow, my natural looking brow, or my beat looking brow? So let me know out of 3 which one you like the best down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!